Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Mandy and today is part 3 of the microbiome series. So up to this point, video 1, I talked all about what the microbiome was in a dog's gut. And then part 2 was all about the process. I'm using a company called AnimalBiome. So their website is animalbiome.com to test Ruby's gut health and see how balanced the bacteria is. She has definitely gone through some situations in the past, at least once or twice a year, where she has had major digestive issues. So this was for me kind of the next step of taking a look at why is that and seeing if there's anything that I can do to help correct it and balance it out. I want to make sure that she is not only healthy and happy and living the best life that she can as an epi dog, but I also want to make sure that her digestive tract is working how it should and that she is absorbing all of the nutrients that her body and her brain needs to hopefully, if it has any sort of an effect on her epilepsy and seizure frequency, I'm hoping that it's an extra benefit of balancing out that microbiome as well. So today I'm going to show you, I did this process back in November, and so I did receive her report, and I want to show you today what that report looks like for Ruby, and then I'll talk about what are the next steps for her now that we know where her microbiome is at and how we're going to go about balancing out her gut health. Once you send in the first sample, it takes about 2 weeks, and then you will get an email that indicates that your report is ready. And so here I'm signed into Ruby's account on animalbiome.com, and it indicates that her report is available. So once I click into that, once I click into Ruby's microbiome report, what this report is going to show me is just overall her gut bacteria, the bacteria that they were able to find within the stool sample that I did send in. There's quite a bit of information here, but one of the things that I'm going to point out is these reports, what Ruby's stool sample was compared to many other dogs, what they would consider healthy dogs, gut bacteria, what you would typically find in there, and then they're able to compare Ruby's sample against that to identify if there are any areas that are abnormally high or abnormally low. And so, for instance, this first one here, I'm probably gonna say it wrong, Firmicutes bacteroides ratio. This is an example of an area that came out as above average, and it does indicate that dogs with a ratio higher than an 8 are at greater risk for becoming overweight. So this is definitely something that is an area of concern. She's at over 18. So this is just one of the areas, an example of how one of the bacteria that was identified is definitely different from what they would consider is average or what they would want to see in a normal dog sample. And then also what could be some of the side effects of why that's a big deal. So in this case, that a dog could potentially be easier to gain weight if this particular bacteria is higher than it should normally be. So with Ruby, weight gain is definitely something that I deal with her, and that I'm constantly watching and managing and trying to take the extra weight off. So this was definitely eye-opening to me to be like, okay, there is a particular bacteria in her system that is out of whack, that is at greater levels than what we would normally want. And so potentially by getting this particular bacteria more into a normal range could help her as far as maintaining more of a normal weight. So the report also goes on to show it will compare specifically bacteria found in a healthy dog compared to Ruby's microbiome. So you're able to kind of look through and just read about the different ones and the different levels. You can see what ones are missing, what ones are for Ruby definitely dominating, and kind of off. So the report then will have a number of different particular bacterias that they're going to compare Ruby against other healthy dogs' microbiomes, where they're going to give you a ratio of what is found in a healthy dog and then what they found in Ruby's sample. So again, it does a really nice job of just describing what those bacteria are and what is the impact health-wise of the different bacteria. So you can see this page is outlining some of those bacteria that are just out of whack. Either they're non-existent or there's just quite a significant difference between what they would typically see in a healthy dog and then what they're finding in Ruby's sample. So I just wanted to give you an example of what a report looks like when you do get it back. This is a report of an example of they are indicating that Ruby's microbiome is out of balance when they do compare her sample to healthy dogs. And so some of the things that they recommend that, would be good for any dog is just some of those lifestyle things, like definitely making sure that your dog is getting enough exercise, adding variety in their diets, staying hydrated, so making sure that your dog has access to clean water throughout the day. And then overall, if you can, if there's any medication use that's happening, just like people, we want to make sure that if we are giving our dogs antibiotics, it's only when it's absolutely necessary. And then it gets very, very specific. So if you enjoy reading some of the very scientific-y information, this might be an interesting report for you. So the next step was, once I got this report, I actually did schedule one of the complimentary 15-minute consultations with one of their animal specialists. That was very beneficial for me because I got to not only talk through this report with someone who understands all of this information really, really well, but also kind of give her some more information about Ruby's lifestyle, some of our past issues with her digestive health, and come up with a plan together for moving forward. So there's a typical dosing schedule that comes along with the package with their particular supplement, and I'm going to talk about this in just a second. But during this consultation, because Ruby is not experiencing any digestive issues right now, and she hasn't for a while, it's been not since the major incident that came up over the summer, that with the animal specialist consultation that I had through AnimalBiome, she is recommending instead, rather than doing the 2 capsules a day, which is the typical schedule that an animal would go on or a dog would go on that is having digestive issues right now, she would like to see Ruby on just 1 capsule a day for until the pills have run out. So that will be about 2 months of Ruby being on their AnimalBiome gut restoration supplement. So, and I do want to stop here. I have said this in the other videos, but I just want to make it clear that this is not a sponsored video by AnimalBiome. This is me as a dog owner trying something out to see if I can improve Ruby's gut health. So, but what these capsules are and why this particular program grabbed my attention when there's so much stuff out there about probiotics for animals and dogs with digestive issues is that I actually had a vet after one of not the last one, but the time before, I think, that had brought up to me if I had ever heard of a fecal transplant for dogs. And the reason why she was asking is she was asking if there was another dog in my home. And when I said there was not, she brought up how it is often with a dog that has significant digestive issues like Ruby was experiencing. They will do a fecal transplant for that dog, which has, I guess, a very high success rate. But the easiest way to do it is if you have another dog in your home that's healthy, because that dog that is going to be providing the samples to do the transplant, you want to make sure that they are 100% healthy, that there are no pathogens. So there's a lot of testing that goes involved in it. And that's about as far as I kind of understand that process. I haven't looked too far into it since I didn't have another dog to be able to get that sample from. So I was very interested to find out that AnimalBiome, it's not just a probiotic that they're selling, but what it is they call it, they're considered fecal microbiota, I might be saying that wrong, transplant capsules. So this is from their website, AnimalBiome, fecal microbiota transplant, or FMT capsules, are a daily oral microbiome supplement. And the capsule contains a proprietary mixture of well-screened donor stool. So it was kind of the same idea of what a previous vet of mine had brought up to me about doing a fecal transplant. But because I didn't have another dog in my household, this is what I felt comfortable with as another option. So how it works is the FMT capsule provides viable microorganisms to your pet orally. And the capsules, they talk about the coating that allows for a delay of dissolving until the capsule has reached your dog's intestines. Multiple doses of the capsules repeatedly introduce beneficial organisms to increase the success of seeding your pet's microbiome to a balanced and healthy state. Positive results are often seen within a few weeks. So I felt like it was just a very good, safe way to go down the road of trying to help Ruby's gut health at a quicker, faster level with the support of this particular program. So these, and then the website goes on to explain more about how do they get the donor stool, and like how all of the screening that goes into it and making sure that it's safe. All of the testing that happens with those particular dogs that are donors for this. They also even go as far as to make sure that the donor stool is from dogs that not only are tested to make sure that they have no parasites and no other pathogens, but also that they are from dogs that are well behaved, very even, happy, good moods, no anxiety, no behavior issues, and so on. So I would just recommend that if this is something that is interesting to you, or you want to know more about it, more about the capsules, then to just go onto AnimalBiome's website and do a little bit of reading on your own, or maybe there's information on other sites as well. So for Ruby now, what the plan is after my consultation with the animal specialist, we are going to do 1 capsule a day for 60 days. I decided to wait until after December to start this process because I got this report at the end of November, and just with the holidays and a lot of the holidays, I decided to wait, and starting right at the beginning of January, I just felt like it would be an easier, calmer time to be able to start this process. So what the next steps are is she will be getting 1 a day for the next 2 months. And then I will be sending in a second stool sample into the lab. The lab will test that, and then I will get another report back. And so at that time, if there still are any concerns, I'm going to share the report with you once I get it. So that'll be probably in about 2.5 months from now. So sometime in March. But the one thing that I thought was really helpful is setting up I got an appointment right away with the animal specialist to do a consultation and to be able to ask more questions that I had, which for me, that was very, very helpful. I felt like it was very personalized experience. But also I then got emailed all of the notes and the plan of what we talked about from that person. So just so I would have it for my records, which was really nice because like I said, there was from the point of that conversation to the point of me starting this process with Ruby, about a month has passed. So it was good for me to be able to go back and review those notes and just know for sure, like this is what we had decided on. So stay tuned. Another thing that's very helpful in this process is the capsules. Let me show you. Are about that big. So check out if you were to try this process, this is when I'm very happy that I've come up with many of those recipes that I have. I have a number of them here on my channel for the pill treats. And not only are they super easy to make and your dog will love them with the different flavors, but they're soft. And so the benefit of that is they're super easy to mold the dough around whatever size tablet or capsule that you're giving your dog. So I'm going to be using those pill treats throughout this process along with her daily phenobarbital. I'm also going to she'll be getting now one capsule using the pill treat to give her this gut restoration supplement. So thank you for watching. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, this is beneficial. Like I said, that this was definitely a financial investment on my part. If you want to know what prices are, definitely go to AnimalBiome's website. It's just AnimalBiome.com. When I knew that I wanted to do this process, I just waited. I've been noticing they often offer coupon codes and just some great deals and sales. So I waited for one of those so I could get some money off because it is kind of a significant investment, especially if you're not sure if it's going to work or not or make a difference. So, but that's it. I will do another follow-up video sometime in March once we have completed the capsules and I have done a second lab results report. And so we'll see what her next report looks like and hopefully it looks better. So thank you for learning with me today. This has been one of those roads I've gone down with Ruby. I've been at this point learning just so much about the epilepsy side of things that for me to kind of go more down a road of gut health and the microbiome, when it comes to your dog, it's just been very interesting. It's a topic area and a subject that I would like to learn more and more about. So I hope you found it interesting too. There's tons of information online as well as AnimalBiome's website. So take care and I will see you in the next video. Bye.